Welcome back to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. For friendly expert tax advice whenever you need it, come to Donahue Accounting Services. A leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio, our top-notch accountants strive to help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahue Accounting Services today for a free consultation at 513-528-3982 or visit online at DonahueAccountingService.com. I'm your host, Alex Meacham, former Bearcat basketball player from 1997 to 1999, under the Hall of Fame coach who showed up to the Bearcat game and helped lead them to victory. My guy, Bob Huggins.
Hey, that juice.
Yeah, game speech. I can tell you what
Meyer.
he said. I can tell. Hold on, Neil. I can tell you what he said. He said, "You motherfuckers better win." That's what he said. All right, sorry, Neil. My bad.
And I'm Neil Meyer with the front office news.
And I'm JT Smith, editor-in-chief of the front office news. Hey, Meach, did he tell him? He was like, "I'm gonna drop y'all nuts." Did he tell him something like that? Pause.
Hey, he used to say the wildest stuff. His stuff was so like. All right, let me say this. When your first year with Bob Huggins, it was scary.
Yeah.
Second year, it started to become funny.
Yeah.
Like the stuff he would say would just be like, "But come on, man, that's." Like, you try not to laugh. Like, anybody that played for Huggins will tell you it turned into being comical. Like, he'd say some wild stuff.
I could see it. I could see that.
Yeah. We might save some of those for another podcast. I mean, Corey Blunt wants to come on the pod, so I know he's got some better stories than I do.
Oh, man, we got to get Corey on. That's
Corey
dope. He checks out the pod, man. That's tight.
Yeah. And you know what I got? I got that Blunt wine. Yeah.
Hey, man, tell Corey to send us a few, man. Tell him to give you a couple. You got to get it to us, man.
Oh, for sure. I got you on the Blunt wine.
Man.
All right, fellas, we are back for another episode. Let's jump right into it. Neil, I got to bring this up, Neil. Have you watched Coming to America yet? You had that time in Orlando.
Yep.
Flight back. No excuses. I know when you got home, you probably took a nap. Chilled out. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. I did, but unfortunately, while I was down there, I did not watch Coming to America. I sat by the pool and enjoyed the 90-degree weather before coming back to 30-degree weather in Cincinnati.
You need to start coming back to America. You need to watch this. It's Black History Month. You got to step it up. Okay?
I got you. I'll watch it tomorrow, and we'll talk about it at the game on Saturday.
Okay. All right, bet. We hold you to the fire on that. Make that happen.
We definitely
got you.
Neil, quickly, can you give the Bearcat fans, an update? You went to the game at UCF. How was the crowd? How was the arena?
Yeah, well, first of all, the arena reminded me a lot like Truist Arena of NKU for various reasons. The first one being the Wi-Fi was absolutely horrible. Me and our guy Scott Springer from the Enquirer were working the whole game on a personal hotspot because the Wi-Fi went out not once, not twice, but probably close to 5 times throughout the game.
Not once.
So the Wi-Fi,
not one, not two.
The Wi-Fi issue was horrible in the arena, but it kind of gave me a NKU feel because they had the seats like half gold, half black, like decorated, kind of spread out. So that was kind of cool to see. But the fan support for UCF basketball really kind of shocked me because when I was walking on campus the night before, so I found out they did the student allotment for the free tickets for the game, of course. At the same time, they did another ticket for another event regarding students at the same ticket office. So there was a big line around the arena, which I sent the video to you guys and I posted it. And the next thing you know, there's only 6,000 in attendance on hand last night down in Orlando. So that was kind of interesting to see. But on top of it, I thought the atmosphere from Cincinnati was electric. I thought they came out with great energy. That was great to see. But overall, it was a good time in Orlando, but definitely did not miss this cold weather after a brief 48 hours down in 85-degree weather.
Yeah, I believe it. Now, your flight back, a little incident.
Yeah, it was a rough start to the to the morning, right? So my flight boarded at 8 a.m. And next thing you know, I get in. I was in the last group to board or whatnot. So you're really kind of just like struggling to get into the plane. I'm sitting in the middle seat, right? So we get in the plane. Everything goes well. We get about 30 minutes out or so from landing in Charlotte because I had a layover in Charlotte. And I take naps on the plane. I either watch a movie or I take a nap. And
Same.
so I woke up to the
Yeah.
turbulence kind of kicking off, and they make the announcement. They're like, hey, we're like 30 minutes out or whatnot. And as soon as I wake up, like fully grasps, like, okay, I'm awake now. The girl next to me in the window seat, no warning, no hesitation, nothing, just starts vomiting everywhere into this like Auntie Anne's plastic bag, and even through AirPods, like you could hear it through the AirPods. It sounded like a waterfall was going next to me. She didn't make any effort to get up and go to the bathroom, none of that stuff. She just held the throw up in the bag, like up against the wall. And then once we land, she goes, I'm sorry, planes just really make me sick. But in reality, it wasn't the plane that made her sick. She was probably still feeling the alcohol from the night before because she smelled like a brewery. So that was a great start to the morning.
Think she had some blunt wine here? You think she was drinking too much blunt wine? Is that what it was?
It could have been. It could have been. But yeah, the second flight, connecting flight was all good. So
hey, I got a quick flight story. It was actually a friend of mine. The boxing, you'll appreciate this, JT. I'm sure you'll laugh too, Neil. But so good friend, the boxing gym I go to, he's always there. He spars a lot. Really, really good dude. He's from England, but when he told the story, it sounded even better because he's got the accent and all that. So he's flying. I forget what part of the country he was, but he was somewhere on the West Coast going to Florida, and he said he's on the plane. Plane's getting, everybody's getting ready to take off. You know how you get settled, you kind of drop stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
And so he said he's sitting there, and the guy behind him drops a book, and the book kind of slides his way, and the guy hits him on the shoulder and goes, hey, I dropped my book. Could you get it for me? And so, he's like, his name, I call him Philly. Philly gets the book, and he turns around. He goes, yeah, no problem, mate. And he looks, and he's like, oh, shit, it's O.J. Simpson.
That's crazy.
Oh, it gets better. This is killer OJ. This isn't like movie star Hall of Fame OJ. This is killer OJ. So he's like,
killer juice.
This is killer juice. So he's like, oh shit. So he gives him the book, and he like so Philly turns back around and he looks at the lady, and the lady's like, oh my God, that's OJ. And so now everyone's like, OJ's on board. I'm like, was everybody like scared? He was like, yes. So not everybody's boarded the plane. So he's sitting there. You know how you guys, it's like, I could imagine him, like everything's probably going through his mind, like, all right, we got OJ on the plane, okay. So he's sitting there, and then finally he said he just kind of like calms down. He's like, all right. He said, now, Philly's not making this up. This is knowing, if you know him, he's telling the truth. He said he thought it was crazy OJ was sitting behind him and tapped him on the shoulder. He said all of a sudden, coming down the aisle was a pony. He said a person was walking a pony to the back of the plane. He goes, they put a pony in the back. And he goes, I got O.J. Simpson behind me and a fucking pony.
So pony is crazy, man.
Crazy.
A pony is crazier than meeting OJ.
That's what he's like. The lady's like, you think it's OJ's pony? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, this is mind blowing. Bro, he could not wait to tell me this story, man. Oh my
man.
God.
That's tight. He with the juice. RIP.
Man, you got to hear him tell. I wish I could get him on the pod, have him tell it in his accent. Oh my God, it is.
I thought you about to say something the book was about to be crazy, like something super crazy, like Hey, if it be an OJ, like, would it be like, yeah,
How'd
it'd
it
be
go?
like two throats or something, pause. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I asked him, I said, what was the book? He said, I didn't even look at the book. I just handed it back, and it was like, oh,
Yeah, I thought the book was about to be something crazy. Like, man, why is this person reading this on the plane? Or he got like a one of them one books or something. You know what I mean?
how to get away with it.
Like pre-internet books.
Oh, man,
Oh
that's
no,
good.
no.
Oh,
All right.
and okay, we're going to get, we're like way off.
Yeah, we off. It's 10 minutes in too, man. We out here on some BS.
Yeah, we're way out there. And we got to talk about a Bearcat. If it was a Bearcat loss,
They won.
we could go up.
They
We could go
won,
on
man.
and
We gotta
on.
get back to it.
We got to get back to it. All right, the Bearcats are currently 13-9. I can finally say that with a victory. I feel like we've been stuck on that 12 after defeating UCF 93. I repeat, 93. We scored 93 points to 83. This is the Bearcat game recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. JT, thoughts on the Bearcats' performance?
Hey, man. Hey, look, they won and they scored some damn points. Like, score some points. Score some points. I think they might have scored. I don't even know. I mean, barely. Like the last two games before this, I think they might have scored more or almost. You know what I mean? Like, I think there might have been like 98 or something. I don't know. Something short.
Two scores combined?
Yeah, it's something crazy. I'm shorting it, but long story short, they scored some points. They're like a team that wanted to play together. They're like they wanted to play basketball. Everybody was fighting for each other. Everybody was pulling on the chain, man. Pulling on the chain. Everybody, I mean, it was good to see. I was tripping. Like when they scored 40 points at the half, I had to like double check the stats, make sure it wasn't an error, make sure my eyes weren't tripping. I'm making sure. I mean, I had one drink. I was just like, man, am I tripping? Do I need to eat some more food? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. I don't trust what I'm seeing here. Then they finished it off, scored over 50 in the second half. It was just good to see, man. I mean, I feel like they played with energy. I know they got out rebounded, but I don't care about that. I think like they played with a great tempo, and that's the thing. They shot a lot. I think 65 shots total. You shoot that many shots.
When was the last time we done that, JT?
I don't know. It's been a long time since we had two people in double digits, let alone four.
Yeah.
So like if you can get, I think like the sweet spot for the Bearcats is to always get three people in double digits, no matter who it is, they'll have a chance. I wish we could play UCF every game if that's what they're going to come out and do. You know what I mean? Law of averages, there's got to be some kind of average to the mean, but I just feel like, man, damn, on the road. And I think maybe the Florida thing, like Dylan Mitchell and Jizzle getting back home, might be what the Bearcats need to shock some people because they look good, man. They look real good. Day Thomas, I'm sorry for keep taking all the stuff, but Day Thomas played his ass off. That first half was huge, 18 points. Dude was on a mission, and people fell in line. And then I think Jizzle had a hell of a second half. I think he had a good first half. He got foul trouble though. Dylan was solid the whole game. Had a scare. Came back. I think Aziz played a good game. I just think everybody contributed. Tyler Betsy kind of got off the snide. So it's just like it's a good game. They almost scored 100 points, man. Like when's the last time unless we playing like little sister of the poor? Have we scored over 90 points in a while? You know what I mean? Like, let alone like F70, like we got 93 points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm gonna leave it at, man. I'm sorry for taking all the points, man, but I'm just excited because it was kind of they're still in the grave. You know what I mean? They're still in there, but they got their shoulders a little bit peeking out now. It was neck deep. Yep. You know what I mean? Somebody threw them some soap on the hygiene.
Pause the neck deep.
Yeah. Pause that up. My bad. They got soap now. They haven't used the soap, but they got soap. They got a barber that want to cut their hair, but they ain't cut their hair yet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's close. Like they're like somebody gave them a towel. Like you know what I mean? Like hey, you can use this washcloth now. And some soap. You still stink. You know what I'm saying? But you are closer to completing the goal. You know what I'm saying? That's what yesterday was for me.
These hygiene breakdowns need to be sponsored. Like, I'm sorry. We
got to, man, because I never thought the hygiene would get to this point, though. I thought we were always going to have well-kept hygiene.
Yeah.
But we not getting the girls. The girls is like,
We still
no,
stink. We still stink.
We still stink. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't no girl. And if the girl's messing with you while you stink, you can't trust her because she probably stink too.
All right, now Neil. I don't even. I mean, what can you say, Neil? I mean,
I don't know really how to follow that aspect up, but on top of it, going back to last night, the biggest takeaways was Day Thomas. JT hit it a little bit, but Day Thomas came out and played.
Pause. Yeah,
Pause. But Day Thomas came out, and it was great to see him set the tone early for Cincinnati. I thought he was getting to not only the mid-range jumper very easily, but what really opened things up for Cincinnati was getting a pressure on the rim. Pause.
Yeah.
But it was Day Thomas getting to the rim. You get 56 points in the paint. That was the biggest takeaway from this. Day Thomas gets 18 in the first half, only gets 2 in the second, but then that allowed Jizzle James to get going after the first half foul troubles. Jizzle James had 11 in the second half. Dylan Mitchell was fantastic on both ends of the court. Now the injury, that was really scary to see him go down, because if you watched it in real life, so he picks the pass, he gets the deflection, gets the steal. When he took off for the dunk, it was about maybe 1 foot above the free throw line. And you could see right when he planted, the knee hyperextended. It did not look good. So he missed the layup off of it, and then he went down immediately. He gets carried back to the locker room by Coach Rayfeld and Jalen Stowe and Coach Morgan, and then he comes back and looked like himself prior to it. And I know Wes Miller gave a very good update on Dylan. Just sounds like it just buckled a little bit, and it was a hyperextended. They said they'll know more when they get back. So that's a positive sign that he was able to come back and finish this game. But I thought Aziz Bandaogo had his best offensive night of the season, 16 points, 6 rebounds as well. Jizzle James took over the second half. Dylan Mitchell was fantastic, but you look down, you shoot 58% from the field. And a fun fact, when Cincinnati shoots more than 60 times this season, they are now 6-1 after their victory last night. So that's a pretty interesting stat as well. But you lose the rebounding margin, which kind of sucks, but you expected that after you see 40 shots fall in that night. But overall, that was a huge win. I know Wes Miller kind of talked about how they played dodgeball on Monday. So to kind of relive get out of their funk for the West Virginia game, said they just needed to find a way to be more competitive and find that love and joy again and just have fun. And said they did it by playing dodgeball at practice Monday. So, the 5 Ds of dodgeball, you can dive, duck, dip, dodge, and I can't even remember the last one right now. But overall, I thought that was pretty interesting. He gets out of a slump by taking his guys to play dodgeball. Wes Miller said the coaches even played. So pretty unique stuff. But I think that's what Cincinnati needed, was just to find a way to relieve some of the stress because of all the expectations that they were carrying on their shoulder heading into this season.
This is the Bearcat game recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. The only thing I want to say is we talked about this on the last podcast, and that is maybe this trip to Florida would be very therapeutic for the guys. Get away, some team bonding. Obviously, they did dodgeball before. Some of the guys' families were there, probably gave them some real talk in person, face to face. And it seemed like all that helped. I'm all I can say is I'm thrilled that they scored 93 points, got the dub. And my thought is this could help them get that swag back. This could be that game, right? So now you've got a revenge game, and we'll talk about this here shortly with BYU at home. I think after that we have Utah at home, right?
Yep. Yeah,
so we
2 revenge games in a row.
2 revenge games. So my thought is this game could have propelled us to potentially win the next 2. And then if you could string together 3 dubs, as the famous street philosopher JT Smith says, cooking with grease.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So
Crisco.
That's right. And then if that then becomes the case, you go and win 3. What's the next road game after that? Is it Iowa State or
Iowa State?
Iowa State, yeah.
Iowa State? Now that's going to be the tough one.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
anything can happen. I'd rather go into the Iowa State game with 3 dubs. You know what I mean? And roll in there and say, hey, somebody gets hot. You know.
And Iowa State's lost their last 3 games as well, so anything can happen.
Hey, there you go.
True.
There you go. The Purple Monkey Project was formed following the tragic loss of 10-year-old Reagan Vanas in May of 2021. Reagan was a ray of sunshine who lit up every room. The Purple Monkey Project is named after Reagan's favorite stuffed animal and seeks to keep Reagan's spirit alive by being a ray of light in the community and promoting random acts of kindness. By providing scholarships and other financial support of youth and youth-centered charities in Southwest Ohio, the Purple Monkey Project seeks to pay it forward, all in the name of Reagan. To learn more about the Purple Monkey Project, please visit purplemonkeyproject.org or visit them on Facebook at Purple Monkey Project. Now, this Saturday at 6 p.m., the Bearcats take on BYU in the beautiful Fifth Third Arena. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Now, let's jump into the Big O segment sponsored by Smart Dog Solutions. In this segment, we cover players to watch and key matchups. JT, where are you expecting a big game from?
Hey, man, we gonna see he gonna snap out the slump.
Okay.
All right. Bearcats score 90-something points. I don't know if he didn't have double digits. That's cool. But I think he comes back home. Everybody else is feeling the swag. He gonna feel it. Pause. And he gonna score. You know what I mean? I think he gonna light up Fifth Third, and that's gonna help them, have a chance and hopefully beat BYU. But I think he's gonna snap out of his slump. He's gonna hit about 3 or 4 threes. I feel it. Feel the vibes.
When was the last game that you could say CMOS had a breakout game?
Yeah. It's a good question, man.
I
feel like he had a game where he had double digits when it was a game that got smoked, but it wasn't like CMOS with the swag.
I mean a CMOS swag game. I feel like was there a home game that he had?
The last game where he really went off was at Colorado, where he had 16, but the last home game where he scored a great amount. Let's check. I'm looking at the stat log right now. He had 13 versus Dayton, and he had 14 versus Xavier, and then he had 18 versus Howard at home. So that would probably be it.
Yeah, JT, you're spot on. He needs to step it up.
Yeah, he do. I need a 15-plus game, like 15-plus. Yes, BYU. He too good not to do that. F how they playing them. Let's attack, shoot the 3 when it's there, and do the mid range, because that's sometimes like when his 3's off and he gets to the mid range, he can score. Just be decisive. Like let's just make the decision and go. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going with CMOS, man. He's due. Just like other people were due, and they kind of snapped out of it. I think CMOS, this is time. Get some get back. We've seen them before. CMOS gonna be ready.
Get that get back.
Yep.
Neil, big game, Bearcats, and who do we need to look out for from BYU?
Yeah. So my player to watch for Cincinnati's contest versus BYU on Saturday, I'm going to roll with the hot hand in Day Thomas. Obviously coming off a big 20-point performance, you can kind of see this offense start to get back to their identity since he has entered the starting lineup, and that is push the tempo. Push, get up the half court, transition, kind of get out of that half court offense a little bit and put pressure on the rim. So overall, I think that's the biggest thing for Cincinnati here in this one. Now, coming off the game just about a week and a half ago versus BYU, Cincinnati was struggling to find any sort of offense, especially there in the second half after BYU scored 52 in the second half versus Cincinnati a couple weeks ago out in Provo. So they're going to need a big night from Day Thomas again. And I think the way that Day Thomas has been playing, I know Wes Miller complimented him and said he has earned his way into the starting lineup. And I think since making that move, Cincinnati is starting to find their offense here as of lately. Now, for BYU, on the other hand, Cincinnati has to find a way to control Richie Saunders. I know we talked about him on the last podcast. He is an elite 3-level scorer, shooting 40% plus from the field, 40% from behind the arc. And what did he do last time? In 32 minutes, he went 7 of 15 from the field, 5 of 7 from behind the arc, 5 rebounds, 21 points on the night. Cincinnati has to find a way to slow Saunders down, or else it could be a long night again at Fifth Third Arena on Saturday.
The Big O segment is sponsored by Smart Dog Solutions. All right, I never get these right. So for this one, I'm going to pick Josh Reed because we struggled against BYU guarding the three-point line. And my hope is Josh Reed comes in and becomes that defensive guy for the Bearcats and helps slow BYU down shooting the three. I don't know, Neil. You might know better than me. After the UC BYU game, did BYU continue to shoot the ball that well? Because, I mean, they were lights out from three against us, right? So,
yeah, they went 11 for 15 in the second half from behind the arc.
Crazy. And, you know, I don't know if they've stayed shooting the ball that well, but we definitely need to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And my selection is Josh Reed to help stop them from shooting and making so many threes. The Big O segment is sponsored by Smart Dog Solutions. Do you have a business that needs better inventory control, production management, or improved accounting control? Outgrown QuickBooks or can't afford NetSuite? Give loyal Bearcat grads Doug and Kathy Jacobs at Smart Dog Solutions a call. They've been in your position and would love to help solve your problems. They can be contacted at 513-739-9473 or online at smartdog-solutions.com. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Now, this next segment has really started to build up so much steam. I have been several places and people are really starting to enjoy the name game. And that is the name game with Neil Meyer, sponsored by Oakley Greens.
Come back and dance a little bit now that I'm back in my comfort zone of my own house.
Hit him, Neil. Hey,
Hey.
hey, hey. Hey, Neil, was that the Birdman hand rub?
I was rubbing my hands a little bit.
Pause that. But you know what the Birdman hand rub? Do you know what that means?
No.
Oh gosh. JT, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm not even at this point, he's so far behind. Like, I don't even know. You know what's crazy, Neil? We actually had some things we wanted you to research, and you actually, I went back and I looked. You fake wrote down.
No, I did not fake write them down.
JT, he was like writing them down, like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna research that.
He was like, oh yeah,
threw it over his shoulder. I said,
he was like, Kobe, someone be cut off.
Kobe.
Wait. What does this one say? Gilligan's Island.
He just wrote that.
What?
Nope.
He just wrote that.
Wow.
No, because look, it's got other writing on it too.
What does it say?
It is from the last episode of Who We Want. It had our hot topic. It was the West Virginia show with all the little key notes and everything on it.
All right,
right.
We'll come back to that, Neil. Let's jump into the name game. Now, with the name game, here's what we do. We usually take the opposing team that the Bearcats are playing. We look at their roster, and we have Neil pronounce their names. Now, some of the names are just cool names, could be crazy names, could be names just nobody can pronounce. Not only Neil, but Neil does a really good job at this. So I got to give Neil a lot of credit for this. Now, since this is a repeat customer, we've played BYU before, I decided to find another NCAA college basketball team's roster for Neil to take on. I looked, and I found New Mexico State. Neil, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
New Mexico State. Let's start with number 2. And I just like his first name.
Number 2 is Zaldi Jackson.
Zaldi. I kind of like that. Zawdie. Where's he from?
Georgia.
Oh, he's from Stone Mountain. Okay. All right. I think that's kind of a cool first name. All right.
Oh yeah.
Number 5.
Number 5, Carl Sheffranfant.
I don't think that's it, but let's try that again, Neil. Let's take it slow. Take it slow.
Sharonfant. Carl Sharonfant.
That's better.
That's better. Yeah, that's better.
That's better.
That was definitely better.
Yeah, that was better. Okay. Number 6. I just like the last name.
Number 6 is Christopher Baiku.
Baiku.
Not bad.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Number 12.
Number 12 is Peter Filippovedy.
Ooh.
Feel the poverty.
Feel the poverty.
Feel the poverty.
He is from Hungary.
Poverty.
Yep.
He's from Poverty, Hungary.
Hungary, poverty.
That sounds like a place in Hungary.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy.
Number 19.
Yo, his number's 19.
19, baby.
He ain't playing football? Hey, man. He got to be self-checked. 19?
He's 6'10".
Hey, I don't know.
Number 19
is crazy.
is Nate Tashimanga.
You sure you pronounce that T? Is it just Shamanga?
Shamanga.
Or you think
Maybe.
it's
Shamanga?
I don't know.
It's probably Shamanga and the T is silent.
I think the TSH are
Hey, man. He's wearing 19 is crazier. That's crazy. 19?
Shit, he's got a brother on this team too.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, number 25.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
twins, it looks like.
I was going to
No, one's a year older.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Manga is a year older.
I think it's she manga.
No.
All right, number 20. That first name.
Yeah.
Number 20 is Xavier Johnson.
It's probably a Xavier.
I think it's Xavier. You said X.
Like a Xavier.
I think it's a Xavier, right?
Xavier Johnson.
Like a Xavier.
Xavier.
Like a place.
Like a
Xavier. A Xavier. A Xavier.
Girls be like, hey, Xavier.
A Xavier.
Xavier.
A Xavier. That's a hell of a name.
And it's probably a Xavier.
I wonder if somebody just misspelled it and just rolled with it. I don't know. My bad. Let me stop.
You know what? I believe that sometimes happens in when they're doing that birth certificate stuff.
Yeah. I'll be like, how do you spell it like that? You know what I'm saying? They just put something in there. You be like, I don't know. But all right. Cool.
Yeah. All right, number 25. We kind of already got to this, but Emmanuel, say it again.
Shimanga.
Shimanga.
Number 34.
Number 34 is Edward Inamako.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that was good. That was real good, actually.
That was good.
I'm still tripping on my man wearing 19, man.
You really. Let's see. Does he get much time? Does he get any burn?
Not like that.
Number 19.
I don't know. So he played in the last few games though.
Number 19 has played in every game this season for New Mexico State.
Okay. He get a few minutes every game.
Sleeping on number 19.
Yeah, 19 is just. I don't know. That's like a created player number or something like. Oh my
he averages 2 points and 3 rebounds.
19, man.
Here's my guess.
I would have to ask him something. Or go ahead.
Here's my guess. My guess is because he's from where's he originally from, Neil?
I believe it is. Let me double check. Go back here.
They got the Keyshawn Johnson.
They are from
Quebec,
Canada, Montreal.
See, I was gonna say maybe they played soccer and they had 19 in soccer and or he had
Just
19.
roll with it, huh?
He just rolled with it. That's the only thing I can come up with because 19 is random.
Yeah, that's a random number, man.
But
That's like a
now these guys can wear any number they want.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what's the guy on the Bearcats? What's our
Al
guy?
Bean?
65. We got that O lineman number.
Well, so one time I take a kid with me to the game, right? And UC blows them out. I take Henry Neil from Oak Hills.
Yep.
So Henry went to the game with me. Henry's Henry JT.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yep. So Henry's with me, and whatever game it was, he gets in. He's wearing 65, right?
Yep.
So Henry's like, "Oh, who is it? He must be really bad." And I was like, and Henry's like real knowledgeable basketball guy. I'm like, wait a minute, why do you say that? They're like, don't they give like bad numbers to the bad players? I'm like, no, it don't work like that. Like, I was like, are you serious? Like, he's like, yeah. I'm like, how would you even justify telling the kid like, hey, you're shitty, so here's a
here's shit. Hey, I'm gonna give you 77. I mean that's Luca, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you 78. You're actually a left tackle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's wild. You know what would be interesting to see now that the rules in place, you could have any number. I wonder what maybe some of the Bearcat players of the past who are kind of known for their number, maybe if they would have picked something,
like a 7, because they're wearing 8 is tight, like 9.
Yeah,
6. You know what I mean? You could pull that off now. You can get I don't know,
guys. If they could have any number, I'm gonna check with a couple OGs and get back to you guys.
Bet. See what they say.
Yeah,
but I feel like most of the cool numbers after you get out of 15, it's normally within 20 to 25, 30 to 35. You know what I mean? I can't think of no numbers that's just like super. Now it get changed, but I can't think of no numbers that was like super cool outside of that realm.
Yeah, I don't know.
On the basketball side, you know.
Right. There's not a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna ask some of the OGs, see if they would.
That's tight. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll check on that. Oakley Greens, the ultimate spot to catch your hometown team at every big game with 6 giant LED screens and TVs at every angle. It's more than a sports bar. It's your entertainment headquarters. All the sports, all the time, all at Oakley Greens. Located in Oakley Station next to the cinemas. You can check them out online, oakleygreens.com. Now, we will be doing a live podcast from Oakley Greens on February 15th at 3 p.m., 1 hour before the Iowa State game, the away game. Now, here's the deal. The Bearcats can hold it down and win these next 2. This Iowa State game is going to be huge. All right, so we need a big crowd to come on out for that. The Kenyon segment is sponsored by Greg Hooden at Beachmont Toyota. This is where we cover the keys to the game. JT, what do the Bearcats need to do to win?
All right, so they got to get a crowd something to cheer about, man. I said 40 minutes. So I feel like they did that against UCF. They got the dub. Get a crowd something to cheer about, because then if the crowd's cheering, that means they're doing positive stuff, extra, great energy, making shots, playing good defense. So get a crowd something to cheer about. Let Fifth Third. Last time I was in Fifth Third, it was rough. People were leaving.
Yep.
Second half, it was a lot of boos rang out. Let's get a crowd something to cheer about. Let's reverse that. Let's do a 180. We don't want to do, like we said, Meach. We don't want to do a 360. Like you said, if you do a 360, it's the same thing. So we don't want the crowd to boo. We want the crowd to be cheering. And if they cheering, it's a chance the Bearcats get another dub.
The Kenyon segment is sponsored by Greg Hooden at Beachmont Toyota. Neil, your thoughts. What do the Bearcats need to do to win?
Yeah, I think the Bearcats just need to play like how they played last night down in Orlando. If they do just that, I think they'll be just fine come Saturday. But they got to play confident. They have to play with the same type of energy, the same type of urgency that they played with in Orlando. And that's just them playing the sport that they fell in love with when they were kids. And that's the same thing that Wes Miller kind of preached when they in the post-game pressers was, hey, just go out there and play the game that you fell in love with when you were a kid. Don't try to have all these expectations and weight on your shoulders because things aren't going well right now. But just play loose, just have fun, play with a smile on your face. And if you do that, it's going to be a good time for Cincinnati, like we saw on Wednesday night down in Orlando after putting up 93. If Cincinnati can continue to play with that, because anytime you see 93 points on the scoreboard and you see 60% from the field, teams are going to get their confidence back. And I think that's what Cincinnati is going to have heading into Saturday.
My thoughts are, you got to roll with what Taylor Swift said. You got to come dressed for revenge, right? This is a revenge game. Off her song Vigilante Shit. They've got to come dressed for revenge. Got to beat BYU, get that confidence up to another level. And it would be great to see a score, you know, at a high clip. I'm not sure we'll get to 93. When was the last time we scored 100 points?
In conference play or this year?
This year. Have we this year? I feel like
we did once. I know
Okay.
for a fact they did over Arkansas Pine Bluff in
Yeah,
the
that
first
was
game of
last-
the season.
That was it.
Okay.
I think that might be it. Let me double
That's
check
it.
real quick.
Okay.
Yep.
Now,
We haven't got 90 yet. No, we had got 90. The first game we got 90 was last game. So
Yeah, they had 109 versus Arkansas Pine Bluff, and that's
second
been
highest,
the
yes, was last game.
and listen, I'm not saying we're going to, you know, reach 100. We might not even reach 90, but if we can get, you know, in that 80, that means I think we're starting to figure it out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting back to the old days and old ways, I should say. And like JT says, when we do that, we'll be cooking with grease.
Yeah.
Your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, nah. I think people gotta wear some all black ones, man. That's what kind of attitude they gotta have. It's all black.
And
Back against the wall, man. All black ones, man. Standing on business. Like, you gotta be, might slap somebody. Like, it's a little bit, anything can happen. You know what I mean? 3-8. We can have fun, but like on the court,
slap somebody.
You might have to, man. Like, you got to put some inflict fear out there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Slap somebody. Like
don't get a flagrant too, but just, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta let them know.
The Will Smith, Chris Rock.
Yeah, open hand, man. Open hand. Yeah, sometimes you got to.
Damn, tastes so good, make you want to slap.
You know, slap like. What did 5 fingers say to the face? You know what I'm saying? Give them something. But
oh yeah, that's another thing. Neil, you were supposed to watch some Chappelle show.
Yeah, you gotta watch some Chappelle, man.
Yeah, I gotta watch some Chappelle stuff still. I didn't forget.
Yes, you did. All right, JT, keep going.
Yeah, Unity. No, but
Unity.
No, but they got it. Nah, man. Unity. That was weeks ago, Charlie Murphy. No, but we can't be like, you know what I'm saying? It was weeks ago since we won, so we need to double up, man. It's time to get 2 in a row. You know, after it's 2, if you win 3 in a row, it's a winning streak, right? 2 in a row, you just won 2 in a row. But let's get 2 in a row. Let's get a chance for a winning streak. So let's don't double down. Yeah, make BYU pay at home. It's time to start defending 5th, 3rd, and yes, let's slap them in the face, man. I ain't saying legit slap them, but we gotta play like they trying to take our piece of chicken, man. The big piece of chicken. We want our chicken.
Wow, I've not heard that one before.
You know what I'm saying? They want our big. They trying to take our chicken. We hungry, all hungry. You want somebody else to come in and take your chicken out of your house?
You slap them.
You gotta slap them. So that's what we gotta play like. We gotta play angry. We can't let them take our chicken. We want to eat, right? If we don't play like we don't want to eat, then we gonna lose. Think about it.
Yeah, Neil.
Think about it.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Right?
With JT, not actually going to slap anybody, but they just got to play and win 2 in a row. They haven't won 2 in a row in conference play since dating back to last year when they made that run in the Big 12 tournament. So you build a little bit of momentum here after the performance in Orlando. Say you win 2 in a row versus a BYU team who's sitting above 500 in conference play. It's another quad 1 opportunity on Saturday. You get this win, momentum's starting to trend back in the right direction for Cincinnati.
The Kenyon segment, Keys to the Game, was sponsored by Greg Hooden at Beachmont Toyota. Come see fellow Bearcat Greg Hooden at Beachmont Toyota for all your new and pre-owned Toyota needs. Look for Greg Hooden on Instagram and Twitter at Cincy Greg Hooden. Hooden is spelled Hoodin. Or come see Greg at Beachmont Toyota. Always ready to help our Bearcat family get into a new Toyota. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. The Twyman segment is sponsored by Visionary Cleaners. This is where we cover hot topics. This Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Fellas, my question for you, JT, we'll start with you first, is what's your most memorable Super Bowl moment? Could be a Super Bowl party. You could have won. Don't they? What are those? What's the game they play at Super Bowl?
Squares. I ain't never won that, so that's all.
I've never won it either. That's
You'll
why
be getting some cheese off that too, man. Remember?
No, something if the right party.
Or another one is if you predict the right score.
That's true. That's true.
That's win some money that way.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. All right, JT, we'll start with
Gatorade.
Yeah. Oh, color Gatorade. You be getting that, man. What you got? Yeah, Neil got that. I feel like you got that last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I hit that last year on a parlay.
Oh, what they dump on the coach?
Yeah.
What was it last year?
Purple.
You guessed purple?
He guessed it. He literally guessed. I remember saying, I was like, all right.
Wow. I said it in the press conference room one day, heading into it. We all were talking about what color the Gatorade would be. I said, nah, this thing's going to be purple. Watch. And then after the Super Bowl, we had a press conference the very next day. I said, I told y'all.
Okay.
No, he definitely did. Cause I was like, man, I'm not betting that. None of that shit hit. I was like, damn.
All right, we got you on the pod, Neil.
It's going to be yellow.
So
I'm writing this down. Hey.
It's going to be yellow.
Yellow. And who would winning team?
Winning team gets the Gatorade dumped. It's going to be yellow.
No, I understand that. I'm saying the Chiefs, right? You think the Chiefs are going to win?
Nah, I'm thinking the Eagles going to win.
You're going to think the Eagles going to win, and they're going to have yellow Gatorade. Okay.
Yep.
You writing this down, JT?
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
Okay.
Got it.
JT, let's start with you. Most memorable Super Bowl moment, party, whatever you want.
All right. So I'm going to go when the Niners actually won when I was a little bit younger, a lot younger. They beat San Diego. They had Neon Dion, you know what I'm saying, prime time. Jerry Rice was going crazy. Steve Young, you know what I'm saying, scrambling in the pocket like Steve Young. Shout out to Gucci Mane. Had a fire team. You know, they didn't break my heart that time. You know, most time they make it and break my heart, but that time they did. They didn't. You know what I mean? So that's memorable. I'll say like a play, not from that game. That game was a blowout. Probably the most memorable play, I'll say like when San Antonio Holmes caught the pass in the back of the end zone against Arizona. Arizona, like they had led them down. Like I thought Kurt Warner was about to get them another one, and Big Ben broke their heart. That was crazy. And I'm not a Steelers fan by any means, but that was a fire play.
Now, what made you a 49ers fan, JT? I don't think I've ever asked you this question.
Oh yeah, because so when I was younger, I lived in California for a brief second, and when I picked my teams, like, my dad's a Cowboys fan, and I was like, I don't want to be a Cowboys fan. I don't know why. I just wanted to go against my dad, and I was like, I like Jerry Rice. I want to be Jerry Rice. It didn't work out, of course. I'm doing this, but you know what I'm saying, like Steve Young and like Joe Montana, but I wanted to be Jerry Rice. Like that's what I want to do. Like I remember I was in elementary. Like I could throw the ball pretty good, but I was like messing up on purpose and shit just because I wanted to play wide receiver. I was like self-sabotaging myself, like because I just wanted to play wide receiver. Because I want to be Jerry Rice. It didn't work out, but I had hands.
Have you ever been to a 49ers game at Levi Stadium?
Yes. Before story time with JT, before COVID hit, like when they went to the NFC Championship, I had luckily one of our friends had a part like her 30th, so we all went out, couples and stuff like that, and happened to be the same weekend as the NFC Championship game. So bought tickets, went. And I was in when the Niners smoked the Packers. Yeah, I was in the building, man. Spent a lot of paper for that ticket. I was up high as shit though, but it was a cool experience.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's shit. That's a good experience, right? That's probably better than a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I looked at the Super Bowl tickets like when I was walking out because they made it, of course. And bro, them tickets were so high. I was like, "Well, I ain't going there."
Super Bowl something else.
I was like $5 a ticket. I was like, "Man,
Yeah,
y'all got me effed up. Cause y'all lose, I'm crashing out. Like I'm going all the way out. Like I'm gonna be in jail in Miami. You lose, you spend 5, and if you spend double up, come on,
Yep.
man, 10, and then getting down there.
In
And your
Miami
team
too.
lose, like, man, you gotta watch that at home.
Sure. Neil?
Yeah, so for the there was two that come to mind. The first one is the iconic decision making by Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson to throw the ball on, what was that, 3rd and goal to, I believe it was intended for Tyler Lockett, gets picked off by Malcolm Butler. Like,
yeah,
that's a memorable moment because you're just like, what are you doing? Like, you have the best running back behind you. And JT and I, and Meach, we talked about it before the show. They simply did not want to see Marshawn get MVP, cruising around on another golf cart on the Super Bowl. Shit, if that would have happened, he probably would have hit somebody, knowing how much people were on the field and knowing Marshawn's driving from his Cal days. But then another Super Bowl that sticks out to me, Super Bowl 42, David Tyree's helmet catch to move the Giants and ruin Tom Brady's Patriots' undefeated season in the Super Bowl.
It's a good one. It's a real good one.
The helmet catch was tough. Like
that was, man.
That's also one of those moments in sports history where you're always like, okay, I'll remember where I was at when that helmet catch happened.
True. Yeah. And it's like Tyree was like bad that year too. Like he was like the drop king.
And he was held on the catch too. It was tough.
Crazy. Yeah.
It was good. Good work, Neil. The Twyman segment is sponsored by Visionary Cleaners. For me, Super Bowl 56, Rams versus the Bengals. This game was really special for me because, growing up, my father is a huge Bengals fan. He made me a Bengals fan as a young person. My dad went to the first ever Bengals game at Nippert Stadium, and he sat in the makeshift rafters that they had that were just like shaken, and was probably not a good idea to
probably not up to code, huh?
Definitely not up to code. But he's been a Bengals fan from day one, and made me a Bengals fan. And there was a short period that I was not happy with the Bengals. I feel like they did a friend of mine wrong who had applied for a job to be a coach there, and they told him he had the job and he was moving to Cincinnati. And then they tell him when he gets here, yeah, about that job. And and it almost caused him to have a divorce. It was bad. And I was done with the Bengals. Damn. Yeah. Because remember, there was that. I mean, I had to end up picking another team because I loved watching, NFL. So I picked the Rams. Yeah, that's actually a true story. So I was a Bengals fan up until that point, like watching every game, like all into it. And then you know how it is, man. If you've got somebody, I'm a loyal person, and person just like got done wrong, and I was just like, man, I can't mess with the organization. So I had to pick another team, and my neighbor ended up getting married to a guy whose brother worked for the Rams as the strength coach. He actually played football at Miami Oxford, and he worked for and I've known him forever. So I was like, I know him. I could probably get tickets. I could roll, I have a connection inside. And now, believe it or not, he works for the Eagles. He's a strength coach for the Eagles now. But anywho, so I rolled with the Rams, and it was really weird because, grew up Bengals fan. My dad's Bengals fan. Rams are playing them. I'm like, what are the odds? The year I roll with the Rams, they make it to the Super Bowl and play the Bengals. But it was a great moment to, spend that time with my dad. And then what happened? I'll tell you this. This is kind of funny how this all works, but my buddy ended up getting another job and he ended up getting into broadcasting, and he got into NFL broadcasting, and it actually worked out for him better. And he was like, sometimes things happen, man, and you find yourself, one door closes, another one opens. And I said, man, I've been done with the Bengals, bro, since you left, since they did that to you. And he was like, nah, man. He was like, people over there, man. Go cheer for them, man. That's your hometown team. So kind of jump back with the Bengals. So that's my story. I know it's kind of a little long-winded on the whole Bengals fandom, off and on, but so yeah, that's probably my most memorable. I don't have a big Super Bowl party memory because I'm not a big Super Bowl party guy. Like, I've always kind of watched the game with just either a small group of people or my dad. Usually like to see the commercials and stuff. I feel like if you're like a big party, you miss out on the commercials and the Super Bowl halftime show, which I don't know about you guys, but let's take a bet on this. I am super excited to see Kendrick Lamar perform. The question is,
he's going diss Drake right away.
Let me hold. Can I
he's going diss Drake right away. We already know this.
Yeah. Mute your damn thing. Just mute yourself. All right. Will he perform Not Like Us? JT.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, so you want like 30 Grammys. He got to perform it.
That was impressive.
And he might need. You know what he might do though? He might perform it twice.
Didn't he perform it like 5 times at one concert?
He ain't gonna do it at which part, but he might double up. He might double up on him. And the Super Bowl, that would be such a legit slap in the face.
I thought I saw a tweet today where he came out and he said he was like 100% going to perform it and take the shot at Drake.
Oh, he's definitely performing it.
He's not commented on it yet.
He's performing it.
He hasn't commented yet.
He's doubling up. He's doubling up on him. That's what I'm predicting. He's doubling up.
Yeah, he did get interviewed by Ebro and I'm not sure what the girl's name is on the morning show, but yeah, they interviewed him. I think the full thing's supposed to air. I don't know if it airs tomorrow or
okay. Check that out.
But he hasn't commented on whether he's going to perform or not. Still up in the air. It'd probably be one of them things where he obviously got to have shock value and people can bet on it. Neil obviously will bet on it like the Gatorade. But Neil, obviously, you think he's going to perform it? You think he's going to come out to that song?
I don't think he'll come out to it just because he's got so many other good songs to where he could come out to it. But he's definitely going to perform it. Now, if that's going to be the one he ends with, I would not be surprised. But he's definitely performing it.
So I agree with you guys. I think he performs it. Here's the twist I think he puts on it. Now, what most people, I think Kendrick is so diabolical. Like he thinks on a whole nother level. Super diabolical. Like even when he won the Grammys,
had a Canadian tuxedo.
Bro, that was like
a Canadian tuxedo. It's crazy. Like just to be that precise, to keep dissing you, like slapping you in the face. It's so great. Like
but here's the beauty of him too, is like he's kind of like he's taking like what Jay-Z does. Jay-Z doesn't like talk. He lets his music talk for him, and then he'll do stuff like wear stuff, and people will be like, "Oh, bro,
this is crazy." Yeah,
and Kendrick's the same way.
Yep. Because he even like on this, my bad. He even said like he gave like Jay a shout out on that one of the things on the Grammys, and it was like, yeah, you like it or whatever, something like that, something similar to that. And I was like, yeah, Jay-Z was, I'm like, oh yeah, he on the same type of time.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, Drake messed up, man. He didn't read the room. Like, he didn't read the room on this one. Because everybody else he'd be able to outwit. He can't outwit Kendrick. And everybody knew it. So it was like, I think he was feeling himself too much. Pause.
Oh, he definitely was. Yeah. Drake was definitely. But here's what I think. Here's the genius of that track that I think a lot of people missed at the beginning of Not Like Us. So the song by DJ Mustard, actually the beat, DJ Mustard said he had sent Kendrick that beat like months ago.
Yeah. He thought he wasn't even using it.
Wasn't using it. But here's the beauty of the song. The song has a band type of feel to it. So Kendrick hasn't said this, but people in his camp have said this, that he wanted every HBCU, every band to play Not Like Us,
Yeah.
So that way it exists. Like, it's going to be one of them things. You go to football games, you're going to hear it and hear it. So guess what? Super Bowl, he's got to have some of the HBCU band students from.
Yeah.
Which one's in New Orleans? There's
a few in New Orleans, I think.
There's a few of them. I forget which ones are.
I can't think of which ones off the top of my head, but it's definitely a few that he can definitely show them some love for sure.
He's got to bring them out.
I can see that. I
feel like bringing in that kind of that New Orleans New Orleans theme to it. So I'm excited. So I mean, one of the things, I'm not going to go to a party. I'm going to watch it again with my father. I'm kind of anxious to really just see the whole performance from beginning to end and see how diabolical.
It's what? Diabolical.
I think I got to look this up. And Neil, you're good at researching things. I think Drake set up a concert in a different country the day of the Super Bowl. He won't even see it.
I ain't surprised by that.
Neil, look and see if he has a concert that day. So what's that, February 9th, right?
Yep.
Right.
I don't know if you
can, he's in Melbourne, Australia.
See? That's true then. He has a concert on that day, so he's not going to see it. Man. Boy, oh boy.
Kendrick's about to cook.
Yeah, when he gets back on that, man, it's about to be wild. The internet is so off the chain. They about to just cut up stuff. It's about to be hilarious.
Drake's manager is going to be getting them things sent to him, and he's going to be like, "Oh shit, more drama."
Internet's ruthless, man. Internet is ruthless.
Ruthless.
Yes. Ruthless. The Twyman segment is sponsored by Visionary Cleaners. Visionary Cleaners is a locally owned company by former Bearcat student athletes. They specialize in high-quality commercial cleaning of businesses, apartments, and pre- and post-construction cleans. They can be reached at 513-388-7816 or contacted online at visionarycleaners.com. Fellas, this concludes another great podcast. Thanks to all of our sponsors: Donahue Accounting Services, Smart Dog Solutions, Greg Hood and Beachmont Toyota, Visionary Cleaners, Purple Monkey Project, and Oakley Greens. And before we sign off, I know, Neil, we keep adding so much to your list of things to research, do. I mean, I'm sorry we keep piling this stuff on, and obviously you're not going to probably watch or listen to half the stuff we tell you, but you're too young for this, Neil, but you know about it. I am a huge documentary watcher of the O.J. Simpson, and I know I talked about O.J. earlier with the plane.
Yeah.
But I love watching documentaries on the case, conspiracy theories behind the murder, which I have a conspiracy theory behind that. But have you seen any part of the new Netflix documentary on OJ and the whole trial in the case? Just came out on January 29th.
No, I haven't.
I haven't either.
On my Netflix.
Listen, you say what?
I've been slacking on my Netflix, man. I haven't. I mean, I got it, but I mean, I've been trying to let stuff build up and then just burn out on stuff.
Let me tell you this. I've watched so many OJ Simpson documentaries. I feel like I know everything about the case. This Netflix, I was seeing and hearing stuff I've never heard before. And I'm like, what? This is crazy. They uncover a bunch of stuff.
I'm gonna check it out.
You've gotta see it. Neil,
I'll check it out.
No, you won't. So, I wasn't gonna tell. I'm not even gonna tell you to watch it because you're not. But what I was gonna say was, do you? And actually, this is good. I'm fascinated to ask you this question. Can you even get your arms around like the O.J. Simpson like murder case, like how big that was back then? Does it even make sense to you?
It makes sense, but I would have to go back and like get another revisual of the whole case in itself and all the details behind it.
I mean, it was so big, Neil. Like it would. I'm trying to think. Like the only person to compare it to, like, I mean, JT, you might have to help me out on this, but like, imagine a LeBron James after he finishes playing, like,
Could
goes.
you compare it to Aaron Hernandez maybe a little bit?
No.
Not even
It
close.
wasn't It was he was already retired. Like OJ is like one of the like I think he had 1,000 yards, like 2,000 yards, in like 14 games.
First player
Like,
ever.
yeah, had two bands. So and he was like on all the shows, like not all shows, like he was on like every commercial, like Hertz Rent a Cars, like movies, like he was on everything. It was like OJ, yeah, OJ, yeah, he was like a commentator, just like Tom Brady and him. Like
he was a Monday night sideline reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could just imagine like Tom Brady, not Tom Brady, but say like who's a similar, maybe like somebody never got in trouble before, and then the murder case happens. Say Tom Brady. Say it's like Tom Brady like is in a murder case like next week.
His ex-wife.
Yeah. Say like Bridget or Giselle's like, you know, she passes, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully that don't happen, but she passes and it's like they're saying Tom did it. Yeah. And then whoever she's dating.
Man, it's
yeah.
It was the wildest. I still don't think we'll ever see anything like that ever. I mean, everybody like loved OJ.
Yeah.
He was
OJ.
like
that's to make that Jay-Z song so tight.
I'm not black, I'm OJ.
Yeah. OJ.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Okay.
The story of OJ.
Yeah.
I know, Neil. It's
a lot.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. We're giving you a lot. But you gotta watch. Okay, all right. To start, you gotta watch Coming to America.
The Netflix one right now, like the series behind it. It's a 4-part series.
Yes. Hour long each one. So it's 4 hours.
And
4 hours doesn't even do it justice. Like, but anyway, what were we saying, JT? You got to go back and watch what?
You got to go back and watch Coming to America. Once you get Coming to America down, then we could work on other stuff. Coming to America first.
I don't even expect them to watch the OJ thing. That might be just too.
It might be too much. You're like, man, this is boring.
That's what. All right, I'm glad you said that because that's how I feel like people from Neil's generation and maybe younger probably look at this like it just doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
Like, they can't get their arms around who OJ Simpson.
Yeah, because he was so big. Like man. Pause. He was so big. Like
pause that.
Pause it again. He was like bigger than life. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, like OJ was like he the type of dude that he could probably like go to any city, have no money, he not gonna pay for shit. He could come into like somebody's hotel like, oh OJ, and they gonna be like, nah, you good? Like, are you like, man? I'm go to like Ruth Chris or something or Jeff Ruby's, and they'd be like, oh, you ain't gotta worry about it. Like he coming like, man, I ain't got no money, I ain't got no card, and he gonna get the best food, drink all night because it's OJ. Like dude was that guy, and then that stuff happened. You're like, it was like it kind of like it changed the world how stuff reported too, like how it was like they cut in on the NBA finals to report.
Yes, they did. They made the NBA finals a small part of the
screen. Yeah. Like imagine the NBA finals. Like,
that was while he was going down the highway, right?
Yeah, but imagine right now if you watch the NBA finals and they make the NBA finals like the small screen, and then they got OJ is the big screen. Like it don't even make sense, do it? Like don't even sound like a live NBA finals, not a pre-recorded game. A live NBA finals is the small screen because OJ, the situation is like blowing up.
Yeah,
crazy. It's crazy.
We used to watch it when I was in school when the trial was going on. We'd watch it at school.
Yep. Same.
In class, like
that was like big.
It was so big, like teachers had to see it, and they're like, "Well, maybe we can act like it's part of the class."
Yeah, yep.
They were really rolled in them old school TVs.
Yeah, the one that be like I call them the big booty TVs.
The big
booty TVs in had the VCR,
the BBL TVs. Yep.
Neil, you've seen some big booty TVs, pause, haven't you? Right?
Yeah, when the ones where they roll it in on the cart and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm saying like y'all might have had like flat screens rolled in though.
No, not until probably 7th grade was when them
Okay, so you
projectors
saw
kicked
the
in.
ones that was like it'd be like a 35-inch, but then
Mm-hmm.
and then it'd be like
The back.
30 inches. Be like that must be like super wide.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought y'all only had the flat screens, so they was being cheap in the Oak Hills district then at that time.
Yeah, that trial was, and the crazy thing was we'd watch it at school and then come home after sports, and boom, you'd go
Yeah,
right
it's
back to
there.
watching OJ. And
Yeah,
then there were times that I didn't do my homework, and my excuse was, "Hey, my dad and I were watching the OJ trial." Okay,
and it
cool.
was cool. It was
Even
cool.
people understood. They were like, "Yeah," and it went on for a
Yeah,
while
that was
too.
real stuff, man.
Man,
Yeah, that was. Come on, that was that 94.
when the trial started,
Yeah. Oh
remember,
no, no, when
because
he
they
actually
No, he
did the run, when he went on a run. What year was that? I remember
um,
being on my grandma's house vividly when it happened, like with my granddad and stuff, like watching the NBA finals.
the
damn,
date was June 17th, 1994, when he was on the run with the Bronco.
okay.
Okay.
Because
Yep.
the trial started in like 95,
I think
94.
so. Hmm.
Let's check.
Yeah, you know what? It had to because I was at Roger Bacon. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
94. Yep. So I was
Yep.
okay. Yep.
The trial started on October 2nd, 1995.
Yeah. I was
That's
at, I was
crazy.
at RB. Yeah, wild times, man. We'll hopefully we'll never. That Aaron Hernandez thing is wild too, man. And in fact,
Yeah.
I met him in a mall the day before they played the Bearcats in New
For real?
Orleans.
The
Huh?
Sugar Bowl.
For real?
Yes. And what's crazy is I haven't told you guys a story that I had one of the old school disposable cameras.
Nah.
I left it in my hotel room. Otherwise, I would have had a picture with Aaron Hernandez.
You had a picture of Aaron Hernandez, but did you feel like your life was in the danger zone, or was he cool?
He was the nicest dude ever. Nicest dude.
Damn.
And little did I know, he was killing folks.
Yeah, he was out here. He was out here like Dexter.
Mhm.
Ever
Man,
seen them?
the,
Ever
the,
seen Dexter?
What's Dexter?
It's he like a doctor or something. I think I ain't really watched it, but he just be killing people. Like,
Mm-mm.
but he got a regular job. He a regular person. But
Or it's like the TV show You too.
he be out here like he just be offing people. But I feel like he only kill people that do bad stuff though.
Mm.
It's
I'm not,
almost like
I'm not familiar with that.
yeah, almost like if I'm not, hopefully I got the story right, but I think it's almost like I don't know if he ever changed. I stopped really watching it, but where like people do bad things, he kind of erase them type of thing.
Hmm. Never
You
heard of this
know
one.
what I mean? Yeah, Dexter. But I don't know. Yeah, he
I'll have
Dexter.
to I'll have to
But
write this down as something I need to
yeah,
check.
Dexter, young Dexter. He out here like Dexter, man. He was out here
Yeah,
just offing shit.
Hernandez was a really nice person, and I did not. And I regret this too. Like I left the disposable camera
Dang.
in the hotel room, didn't take it to the mall because otherwise I would have taken a picture with him.
Yeah,
I was like, man, that would be a hell of a throwback Thursday pic.
yeah, that'd have been fire. Like Aaron
Imagine
Hernandez.
if I had a picture with Aaron Hernandez and OJ, like separately, not together, but like separately.
Yeah,
Man, that would
hey,
be a killer picture right there.
that would be. What if
Literally,
you had somebody has a picture of both of them together? That'd be crazy
that
too.
would be
That'd be like
insane.
next level. That's
That would
like having a picture with Puff Daddy and R. Kelly together.
that would be. You know what? There was a girl on social media posted a picture of her and Tupac when she was a kid. She met him outside of a hotel, and she's like my age, and she
Dang,
posted it as a throwback, and I'm like, man,
you met
and
Tupac? That's fire.
it's like Tupac with the like all the chains, like cut off shirt, like
It was
stuff,
Death Row Tupac.
huh?
It was Death Row Tupac.
It was Death Row Tupac.
Damn, she met Death Row Tupac.
And Death Row
Damn,
Tupac. She was it kind of went viral for a second because she never posted it before. She was like, boom,
oh, she
throwback.
killed him with that one.
Yeah. Now that would be a crazy throwback Thursday to have. Imagine if you had a picture with Tupac, Biggie, Aaron Hernandez, OJ. That would be insane. The throwback. Oh, that's why I take so many pictures with so many people, because first of
Never
all,
know.
I like doing it. I like being around people, but
Yeah.
man, you never know. You never know what
True.
somebody's gonna become, or
Yeah, true.
dude, it's like,
Yeah, that'd be crazy though, man.
Yeah,
Like
that
you
would be
take a
wild.
picture, maybe like little dude be like, "Yeah, I'm LeBron James."
man, crazy.
Ah, shit.
Wow, this Bearcats win, and we end up talking about coming to America and OJ Simpson more than the Bearcats.
Yeah, OJ, man. Yeah, you gotta watch Coming to America, man. I'm gonna say it again.
Neil,
Sound like a broken record, man. You got to, you have to.
I got
But
you. I
all
got
right.
you.
You keep saying that. All right, you listen to the Bearcat Tip Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. For friendly expert tax advice, whenever you need it, come to Donahue Accounting Services. A leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio, our top-notch accountants strive to help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahue Accounting Services today for a free consultation at 513-528-3982 or visit online donahueaccountingservice.com. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Bearcat Tip Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Go Bearcats.